within County's Manukau Health, where we are running a campaign to take the pressure off in our hospital and save bed days from the hospital. This involved work across our whole system, so work within the hospital, within our emergency department, and within primary care in the community. The problem that we were trying to resolve was the increasing pressure on our hospital for increasing demand for bed days, for inpatient beds, and we had tried all sorts of different isolated projects and with some success, but not an overall success. We still saw an increasing need, and we had increasing episodes of hospital full days. And our public health physicians have looked at our data and did a projection model to see how much was going to be required to keep us at a safe level of occupancy. And they figured that over an 18-month period we'd need an extra 20,000 bed days. So we thought, okay, this is a good thing for us to be looking at, but in order to deal with this, we had to take a whole system approach. So we did a lot of engagement with all the clinical providers across the system, but also with our community. And the first thing that came up was our concept or idea of bed days just wouldn't gel with anybody from outside the hospital. And so we had a session where we were talking with our community advisory panel, and they thought that our best approach for getting buy-in and engagement from people outside the hospital would be to pitch it as we're returning days saved to the community for you as an individual. If you come into hospital, if you get through our system quicker and get back out with support out in the community rather than having to remain in hospital, then that's a much better approach. And so that was actually quite a game changer for us in terms of getting involvement and buy-in. So this campaign was consisted of 16 teams who were really self-selected because we put it out there. We wanted teams that had ideas as how they might improve the system in the particular part where they were working. And so we took teams that had been wanting to test ideas, and if they got good response from the work they're doing, that would then become a new way of working. So it wasn't a very, and the reason that we had to limit it to that number was that we were just a small team to be supporting them doing it. But anyway, so that ran over and using the Breakthrough Series model and teaching all of the team members the model for improvement, how to run PDSAs, how to capture the data and how to interpret data. And that ran over 18 months, and that was a success. We managed to we set ourselves this target of saving 20,000 days, which we reached, which was great. And then we moved on to a next phase, brought in more teams, moved more out into the community, which was good. And the interesting thing which we then did for selecting teams for there was that we ran a Dragon's Den type approach for getting, and that was to involve our leadership in terms of deciding who was going to get some funding or not to support to go ahead. And that was actually quite a fun way to do that. So it's created a lot of energy in our system, and particularly has been useful for us to build our internal capability for doing improvement